Okay, let's dive into Psalm 66 today.
Right. It's a really fascinating one.
It really is. What strikes me is how it kind of blends these two huge things together. This massive universal praise for God's power, his amazing deeds.
They across the whole world.
Exactly. And then, almost jarringly, it shifts to this incredibly personal story of suffering and, well, getting through it, deliverance.
Yeah, it really gives us insights into both sides, doesn't it? The big communal worship and also that very individual faith, especially when it's really put to the test.
You see that grand scale right from the
Yeah.
start. I mean, the opening verses, they're not exactly quiet, are they?
Huh. No, definitely not. It's a shout.
A shout, yeah. Shout for joy to God, all the earth. Sing the glory of his name. Make his praise glorious. It's demanding attention for God's awesome deeds.
And notice the scope there, all the earth. It makes it clear this isn't just for, say, Israel. It's a call out to everyone. Universal. Completely. It pictures enemies cringing, the whole earth bowing down, singing praises. It's about acknowledging this ultimate power.
And it doesn't just stay abstract. It points to something specific, doesn't it? That historical anchor.
The Red Sea crossing, essentially. He turned the sea into dry land. They passed through the waters on foot.
A core memory of deliverance.
Mm.
And the response it calls for, come and see what God has done. Let us rejoice in him.
Exactly. It grounds the praise. This isn't just theoretical power. It's power demonstrated in history.
Ah.
And that connects directly to the next thought.
Which is?
That God rules forever. His eyes are watching the nations. There's a subtle warning there, too, against rebellion.
Right, given that demonstrated power. Okay, so we've got this huge cosmic historical view. But then, like we said, there's a pivot.
A definite shift. It moves from all the earth and the nations to us, a much more intimate focus.
Verses 8-9. Praise our God, O peoples. He has preserved our lives and kept our feet from slipping. Suddenly, it's very close to home.
But that preservation, that safety, it came after something intense. The psalm is very clear about that. It dives right into a period of testing.
For you, O God, tested us. You refined us like silver. That refining image is quite something.
It implies heat, pressure, purification, and the list of trials that follows is, well, stark.
It really is. What does it mention specifically?
It says, you brought us into prison, laid burdens on our backs, then you let men ride over our heads.
Wow. That's intense imagery of oppression, humiliation.
Absolutely. And it finishes with, we went through fire and water, these elemental forces of chaos and destruction. It feels like being hit from all sides.
Yeah, it covers pretty much every kind of overwhelming hardship you could imagine. Feels incredibly relatable, even now.
It does. But here's the crucial turn within that personal story. After the fire and water. But you brought us to a place of abundance.
So the testing, the refining,
Yeah.
It wasn't pointless. It led somewhere.
According to the psalmist, yes. It was a path, a really difficult one, but it led to this place of abundance, of relief, maybe even prosperity.
And having come through that, the response described is fulfilling promises made during the hard times, right? Bringing offerings.
Specific ones mention fat animals, rams, bulls, goats. A tangible expression of gratitude after deliverance.
And this leads into wanting to share the story.
Yes, that's a key moment. The psalmist says, come and listen, all you who fear God. Let me tell you what he has done for me. The personal experience fuels a public testimony.
And inside that testimony, there's that really interesting line about prayer, verse 18.
Ah, yes. That's crucial. If I had cherished sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened.
Cherished sin. That's specific. Not just sinning, but holding on to it, valuing it somehow.
That seems to be the implication. It connects the inner state, the disposition of the heart, directly to the experience of being heard by God. It's quite a profound link.
And the psalmist is confident they meet that condition.
Completely confident. The very next verse says, but God has surely listened and heard my voice in prayer. There's no doubt in their mind. God heard because their heart was, in this sense, rightly oriented.
So the psalm wraps up with this very personal praise, thanking God specifically for not rejecting the prayer, for not withholding his love.
Exactly. It brings it all together. You see the movement from the awe of God's universal power through the intense personal furnace of testing and refinement, arriving at this place of abundance and grounding the resulting praise in a very personal tested experience of God's faithfulness, a faithfulness linked to the sincerity of the heart in prayer.
It's quite a journey packed into just 20 verses. Covers so much ground.
It really does. And perhaps it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about drawn just from this text. What does this psalm suggest about the relationship between going through the kind of severe testing fire and water eventually being brought to a place of abundance? And this condition the psalmist mentions, that not cherishing sin in the heart seems essential for experiencing God's listening ear and steadfast love.